My mail usually doesn't come in this neat box.
Scratch his little head.
There's one thing that was not my favorite, and that was Velcro.
I wonder who it's from.
Hello, astronaut. What are you doing today? Well, today, my training was preparing for a spacewalk. I got to hover above a hoverboard and practice moving my body in three-dimensional space without a lot of drag, which is something that is a condition we will experience when we're working outside the space station in the vacuum of space.
I'm pretty sure that's a space cat.
This is a space cat, maybe a moon cat.
All right, we got one from Otto in Newcastle, Maine. Is it hard to eat and sleep or drink water because you're suspended in space? Does the food just float down your stomach or like water just floats there? Great question. Gravity right now is pulling all the food and water in my stomach, and it eventually my body goes ahead and processes that, and the food level gets lower, and then I start getting those hunger pangs and lets me know that it's time to eat. In space, you're right, everything floats. So the food's floating here, I put it in my mouth, and the muscles squeeze it down my esophagus and down into my stomach while the stomach processes it. But in the stomach, it floats around too. So the interesting thing is that it comes, food time or dinner time or lunchtime, and I never had any feelings of hunger because the food was all just floating there. I had to eat basically on the clock to know that I needed my nutrition, but it wasn't because I felt like I needed to. So it's a very interesting sensation to go ahead and eat in space.
Space cat, moon cat, planetary cat, solar system cat.
One of my favorite ones because it folds open. That's how big the universe is.
This cat reminds me a lot of my cat, whose name is Merlin. She's named after the rocket engine. This looks great.
So this is from Urav. He likes video games and soccer, and he's drawn a very cool picture here. It's even been personalized to me. He's got a version of me there and a rocket heading to the moon. So thanks very much, Urav. Dang, he's only 9, already thinking about his bachelor's degree, so he is planning ahead.
It says, hi, my name is Adson, and I'm learning about space and how do astronauts go on spacewalks. Thank you for the letter. Spacewalks are really cool. I got to go on spacewalks in several different kinds of spacesuits, all on the International Space Station. We have this space station that goes around our planet, and we go around every 90 minutes, and we can sometimes put on a spacesuit, open the door, there's no air outside, and we go outside, and they call it a spacewalk, and we just walk from using hand over hand inside a very big spacesuit. It takes a lot of practice, and we're working towards the future where people can be walking on the moon in their spacesuits.
Oh, I have another drawing. This is from Carter in Georgia. We've got a couple astronauts here in space, spaceship launching. Looks like we even have the moon here, which we're going to very soon as part of the Artemis program. So that's very exciting.
Oh my gosh, look at this amazing drawing. Looks like there's a supernova. Got Earth over here with a couple of rockets ready to launch. Looks like we've landed on the moon. Here's an astronaut. I like to think this is one of my friends that I know in the future, sitting on the surface of the moon doing some lunar geology.
I seem like a cool guy. Well, I appreciate that, Frank. I think I'm a cool guy as well. You should talk to my kids. They do not think I'm cool. I think I'm pretty cool.
To NASA, to the Air Force, or any aeronautical engineering program. Well, you're in luck, Charlie. I'm at NASA. I am in the Air National Guard in the Air Force, and I'm an aeronautical engineer. Let's see, I have made a new blueprint for a new jet using nanotechnology and titanium. You have my attention, Charlie. Okay. And it looks like he may have a jet that can go Mach 34, which is very fast. Look at this, Falcon Project. It's got the F-22 air intakes. It looks like you're using titanium for structural elements. Got some connections, Charlie. No promises, but I will see what I can do.
Can you have pizza? Yes. We made pizza for Christmas last year, and it was awesome. We had bubbly pizza crust, and we put on cheese and pepperoni, and everybody sliced it up and shared it. And the best part, all you have to do is float that pizza across the room to your friend, and it's a great pizza party.
Is there other life out there? We don't know yet. We haven't seen any aliens, but we are looking to see if we are alone in this universe. That's a very big question. Cool beans.
Do you think you could ever send someone to Venus or Mars someday? Well, we definitely are going to try to send someone to Mars in the future. That's why we're going back to the moon, is so we can learn everything we need to know to keep us safe in space for long duration before we go out to Mars.
Have I ever tried any of the space foods? Now that I have done, that's part of training. It's to understand what it would be like to be in space. We spend a lot of time looking at the foods and trying to determine which one's bad, so we take different samples. We work with nutritionists and people who design the food food to get the best possible thing that we can have in space. And as a doctor, I know it's important to eat healthy. So I would say, listen to your parents when they tell you to eat healthy. It'll help you train to be an astronaut. And when you get here, you can help design better and healthier foods that keep people in a good place in space. Thank you for your letter, Hattie.
We got some amazing artwork from our young people.
Looks like we have a picture of Earth, a couple radars, perhaps tracking a satellite that's orbiting the Earth. Very technically accurate, seems like.
This is from Drew, who made an astronaut out there on a spacewalk. This is a 5-year-old Fennell Shaw, and so he watched the Crew Dragon launch and dock with ISS, and this is his favorite planet, Saturn.
Okay, let's see. I've got a letter here. Rachel wants to know, what do you like least about the ISS and space? Ooh, that's a tough question because, to be honest, I love the ISS and space. But I'd say there's one thing that was not my favorite, and that was Velcro. Now, when I needed Velcro, it was good and it worked perfect. But there are times when you didn't need that Velcro and it was very strong. Maybe it was attached to a bag and I'm floating by and my hair is in 0G and part of it catches that Velcro and it almost pulls me to a stop and rips some of my hair out. It was the worst. So, least favorite in space, Velcro.
We've got a cat in space. It wasn't humans that were first in space. We had a dog called Laika that beat all the humans into space. I expect someday we'll probably have to think about cats in space too.
Lachlan is a sophomore in high school working towards becoming an astronaut and wanted to get advice on a few questions throughout the stream. What type of school should I go to? I'd say the type of school that you want to go to. Obviously, there's like the really big name schools, but sometimes you can be a little fish in a big pond or you can be a big fish in a little pond. So I would say when you're doing college visits, find the one that you think you would enjoy going to and waking up at every day and do that one. In terms of service academies, the key in that is the first word, service. Definitely if you're interested in serving the country, that's a very good option, but I wouldn't go there just because you think it's gonna help you become an astronaut. I would go there because you want to serve in one of the military branches, and then if that happens to lead to an astronaut career later, great. Degrees to work towards, if you look at online at nasa.gov, the requirement's a master's degree, so at a minimum you need that in some kind of STEM field or be a medical doctor, and so those could help with degrees, but again, I would pick something that you enjoy doing. And then pursuing a pilot's license, I'd say actually the majority of people in our office weren't pilots to begin with, so I happen to be a pilot, but that's not the majority of people in the office. We do fly T-38s, and everyone learns how to do that because it is an analog to space flight, and if you have the time and enjoy flying, then definitely something to go pursue. But again, if you don't like it, I wouldn't go do it just because you think it would help become an astronaut.
I want to thank you all for sending your fan mail.
We love to receive it, love to read it.
Keep the letters coming.
And we are all one big community working together to fly into space.
Thank you so much. Keep your letters coming. It really makes us happy.
Keep the questions coming. Happy to answer them, and look forward to all of you helping us get back to the moon and then eventually Mars with Artemis.
Thanks so much for all the fan mail. It was incredible and a great way to kick off 2024. Please keep the letters coming.
See you next time.
Space Cat.